Hey, what's up, guys? In this video I want to compare humans to roses, and also a little bit of Tupac poem, the rose that grew from the crack of the concrete. Alright, guys, I'm gonna show you guys some roses. The first rose is a damaged rose, a rose that's dying. And the second rose is two roses that's blossomed. Okay, guys, if we evaluate both the pictures of roses side by side, we will see a picture of roses which one is dying and the other two has blossomed into a beautiful rose. Just by looking at this beautiful rose, we will have nothing but good words to speak about while looking at these two roses. Like, for example, how the two roses are so pleasant to look at, and how it brings life into the room, and how its fragrance smells up the room, and its textures illuminate and brighten up the room, that it gives off a shine. The rose that's dying. While evaluating this rose, we will see, of course, it's dying. We would probably not have positive words to speak about when talking about this rose. See, how I view and the way we see and look at this rose would be how we categorize this, because of the way it's presented to us, being that it looks lifeless, in that it gives off no light but darkness, and its smells has no fragrance but death, and its petals are leaning crooked to the side, that we will have nothing positive to say about this rose, because this rose is presented to us just the way it looks, lifeless, with nothing but negative things to say, because its vibes give out negativity. Just it is leaning to the side, and its petals are fading away. Disciples of our nation, we are them roses. Humans are just like them roses. We will see one picture of a healthy family playing and interacting together, that it shows life and happiness, that it gives off a positive vibe that shows togetherness, strength, and prayer and God, that a light is shining over this family. This is the first family, guys. See how this family interacting, everybody smiling, laughing, and playing. Is life into this family. Okay, this other family, arguing, fussing, fighting, confusion. The child is going through emotional pain. Tupac poem, guys. If you walked by a street and you was walking on the concrete, and you saw a rose growing from the concrete, even it had messed up petals and it was a little to the side, you would marvel at just seeing a rose grow through concrete. Long live the rose that grew from the concrete when no one else ever cared. We wouldn't ask, why a rose that grew from the concrete for having damaged petals? In turn, we will all celebrate its tenacity. We would all love its will to reach the sun. Well, we are those roses. This is the concrete, and these are my damaged petals. Don't ask me why, thank God, and ask me how. The rose that grew from the concrete. Did you hear about the rose that grew from the crack of the concrete? Proving nature is wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else cared. The rose that grew from concrete will one day lose its damaged petals and blossom into a beautiful rose that God have originally designed for it to be. I wonder why those who passed by the rose that grew from the crack of the concrete could only focus on how messed up that rose looked and how crazy that rose had to be for not having a glass house to be in or having a pot to keep its petals more straight. The people was only focused on how that rose that grew didn't have anything or had no other rose to grow with. If it were me, I would have marveled at the rose that grew from the crack of the concrete and told everyone about the rose that was so beautiful than all the other roses, because this rose stood alone and grew for nothing, from nothing, being strong, having to grow through the circumstances it went through to grow through that concrete. Family, that rose is me. So why is it that when you see some ghetto kid grow out of all the dirtiest circumstances and he can walk, he can talk, he can sit across the room and make you cry, make you laugh, all you can talk about is my dirty rose, my dirty stems, and how I am leaning crooked to the side. You can't even see that what I have to come up from out of. Long live the rose that grew from the crack of the concrete when no one else cares. I love you guys.